Hey after Transtastic, my name is Luke, and this week's topic is Rant Week, so you can choose a topic and just rant about it if you want. Now, when I saw this topic about a month ago, I didn't really know what I wanted to say, because, and this is sort of the point of this video, is that I don't really rant. I don't really have anything to rant about. So I wanted to talk about sort of why I think that's the case, and just some observations about that. Also, I'm not talking about any individual person, so please don't come at me thinking that I'm talking about people or talking down to people or anything like that. But yeah, so when I was 18 or 19, the whole True Scum Too Cute thing was like a really big thing. It was just one of those things that was everywhere, on Tumblr at least. I held very strong opinions. I still do, to some extent. But I was a lot more vocal about my opinions. I used to be very argumentative about how I felt, about why I think certain things, why I think that my opinion is the right opinion, and why other people should listen to me. And I just don't anymore. And I think that's just because now I've just realized that it really doesn't impact me directly, and I don't care enough. I just don't care enough to sit here and argue with someone on the internet about whether or not you need dysphoria to be trans, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really impact me. So I just stopped engaging in that sort of stuff. I guess it's just funny because I'm seeing a lot now is younger trans guys, and I see them holding the same opinions that I did. I see them engaging in these conversations, and I'm just like, how do you have the mental energy to do this? I got so tired of like constantly having to argue and constantly being riled up and constantly having this anger and frustration and feeling like I was being victimized because of my opinion, when it really didn't do anything. It didn't change anything. I don't know, I just think it's really interesting. Hi, I'm editing at the moment, and I just wanted to clarify with what I'm saying in this particular part of the video. What I meant is not necessarily me feeling a certain way about people having these opinions on the internet, but more about my response to that. Because if I was 19 or 18 or whatever, however I was back then, I probably would have been a lot more on board with what these people are saying. Whereas now I kind of look at it and I'm just like, how can you be bothered? So it's me that I'm talking about here, not necessarily me saying that other people shouldn't be vocal or that other people shouldn't hold certain opinions or whatever. It's just more my observation of myself and how I respond to these things. Because if it was 3 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, okay, I totally get you. And I'd be like feeding into those conversations. I probably would make videos myself. I'd probably talk about it more myself. Yet now I kind of just look at it and I'm very much like, this is just such a waste of time. It's just interesting how I have changed personally, and that's what I was trying to say with that, and that's what I mentioned when I brought up other people. So it's not me saying that other people shouldn't feel a certain way, but I just think it's interesting how my perception of these things has changed so drastically in just like a couple years. I didn't want to cause shit, and I still don't really want to cause shit, so I guess that's part of it as well. I was vocal about it, but I got shut down really quickly, and people were like really awful to me about it. They would send me like anon hate and just be like, you don't care about all trans people, and like you don't think that non-binary people exist, and I was like, I never said any of this. This is like a total lie, but like whatever. And I just see the same thing happening. Is this sort of an age thing? This sort of anger more akin to a personality type, or is it more just like the landscape of YouTube at the moment? Because I feel like YouTube is changing a lot and has changed a lot recently. So maybe that's it as well. I went from being quite angry and frustrated. I would rant a lot and I would just be like, like these are why all these things are wrong. And like now I'm just so chill. You know, there are some things, and like if it's a direct conversation and a direct topic, I will be vocal and I will say how I feel. But I don't really feel the need to sit down and make a video. I just don't think it's a good use of my time. I've got other things to do, and I think that I can talk about other things that are going to be more impactful than just regurgitating the same arguments that I've been talking about for years. Stopped really caring about that sort of stuff. And so I might make comments here and there, but I never really would sit down and make a video about my opinion on the topic. It made me feel too angry. It made me feel too frustrated. It made me feel like I was wasting my time, that I was talking to a brick wall, because at the end of the day, if someone's going to disagree with you and they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to listen to you. This isn't me telling people to not post videos about how they feel or things like that, but I'm just talking about like controversial topics like that. Like, I just lost my anger towards all of these sorts of things. I still hold similar opinions, but I also just don't really give a fuck. For example, if you honestly think that you can just identify as trans and that you don't need any dysphoria for any of that, then like, okay, cool. Like, I don't really feel the need to tell you how you should feel. Whether or not you actually do have dysphoria and it's just disguised as something else, or you use a different word for it, because that's generally what it is. It's not necessarily the feeling that's different, it's just the actual word for how you describe it that's a bit different, which is what I find really funny about these conversations, because a lot of the time it's just like completely missing the point. The arguments are about words, not about the actual feeling, which is just so funny, because if people actually sat down and listened to each other, they'd realize they're saying the exact same thing. Do whatever the fuck you want, and I'll do whatever the fuck I want, and like, there we go. We can just live like that. I'm so much more calm. I've been a lot happier, because I spent so much of my time lamenting on things that don't even impact my life and that really don't affect me. I guess I'm just in a really privileged position in that the ins and outs of the trans community don't affect my day-to-day life, and I guess that comes from me having the privilege of being able to be stealth. The opinion of me does not change whatever happens to the trans community because I'm not seen as trans. I guess like there's kind of a disconnect there. I probably should care more. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about this video. I will see you guys next week. Bye.